The problem with eBay is that it's just a little bit too easy to find yourself buying something like that. Not just an ambulance, but a Volvo XC70 D5. That's the 5-cylinder diesel turbo, which I'm sure is not just a standard diesel, just waiting for another diesel to drive past. I suspect that this Volvo XC70 is one of those rare unicorn Police Spec cars, because there are hints of that from what I've been able to establish online. But aside from the glitter paint job and the ambulance stickers, let's have a quick look around. It seems to have a little bit more lift than standard, particularly at the back over there. Really good alloys, great tires, Pirelli Scorpion Verdes the whole way around. And you'll notice that it has the facelift lights, a really cool XC70 grille, which I like a lot. Now the bonnet I thought was going to be just vinyl, but in fact it is painted. I'm going to have to remove the ambulance decals. I don't want to be fooling anybody, right, or being called over to attend to an incident. But overall it's in fairly good shape. It has 195,000 miles, which, you know, I don't expect as much for an ambulance, because this would have been exceptionally well taken care of. And of course it has lots of optional extras that the standard Volvo XC70 does not have. Aside from the extra wiring looms, the uprated engine, it has all these extra lights, dual fog lights at the back. It has a battery charging system. Let me show you what's in the back here. So it has a battery charging system, which I suspect is wired through to that charging point over there. So it would come into the base at night, get plugged in, and this would charge the extra batteries, which are where the spare wheel would be. Now there are lots of extra wires, clearly for ambulance and police business. Some of this looks like it should be fairly straightforward to remove. Other bits and pieces I'm not so sure about. And then in there we have, I think, a multi-changer, although I'm not 100% certain. It might be something to do with the sat-nav or something like that, but as you can see, lots of wiring in there. There's some additional wiring over there. Has a dog guard that flips up like that, which is great. That's a torch, and of course a massive Volvo XC70 boot space. Let's take a look inside, shall we? The first weird thing that I'm greeted with is this interesting numbers on the door here. 5'9", 1.76 meters. Well, I can assure you that this is not the height of the vehicle, but maybe it used to be the height of the vehicle when there were blues and twos on top, sirens and flashing lights and all the rest of it, because it would be rather unusual to put the height of the driver in there, but yeah, maybe that's what they did. Let's have a look around the cabin, shall we? So firstly, for a vehicle that's done 195,000 miles, that seat is in remarkably good condition. There's virtually no wear on it whatsoever. Interesting fabric. It's kind of a leatherette, and then there's fabric in the center there. I can't quite find a reference for that in the Volvo catalog, and I have a suspicion that this might be kind of like a Police Spec kind of finish. A number of random connections and lots of wiring and stuff that's been removed. I have got to figure out what of this I can extract. Other than that, it seems like a standard Volvo dash. There's a few marks over here where things have been mounted. There's this cradle, which probably was home to some or other communication device. It does not have a cup holder here like I've seen in some of the other Volvos. They have a cup holder that comes out. This is a storage cubby that had 2 pounds in it, which is nice. So yeah, but this is an official Volvo storage cubby. I don't know whether this is standard spec for police or ambulance kind of vehicles. From what I've seen, this is usually a drinks holder, and this is not a drinks holder on this vehicle. There is some interesting buttons. There's, I think, a parking sensor button and a recirculation button, a blank. It's missing the cover for this. It does not have heated seats. I'm missing the knob for the radio. This is the HU850. Stereo is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. CD player, which I like. There's obviously no Bluetooth. There's remnants of a cut wire there, which I presume is something like that was cut off. This looks like a connector for a computer of some kind. It's one of those kind of data type connectors. 6-speed gearbox is absolutely perfect. And we've got this little center console here which opens up, and there's a kind of a shoulder badge thing, training manager. This needs a tidy up. I think that's a drinks holder there, drinks holder at the back. And what else we got in here? I think this lifts up. Does this lift up? Yeah, it does. There you go. There's a little storage cubby in there. This has been butchered a little bit. Oh, what do we have here? I think what I'm going to need to do is disconnect these things and see if something changes in the car. But this is obviously not factory, shouldn't affect the running of the vehicle, but who knows. The steering wheel doesn't have any controls on it like I've seen in the Volvo brochure and stuff. There's evidence of something having been mounted to the steering wheel over here, maybe one of those things that you use to turn the steering wheel. And then over on the passenger side, we've got glove compartment with nothing in it. In the passenger footwell, there is a loose piece of trim and something right down in the bottom there. I see the lights working, which is nice. Thank you very much. So I've got wires coming out, something else that's been cut. So actually it's going to be kind of fun figuring out what all of these things do. Hopefully land up with a standard spec. Well, as long as the engine's not standard spec, I'll be pretty stoked. The ceiling lamp is missing. I suspect that the ceiling lamp was removed from here to gain access to this. I think this is a receptor for the remote central locking. That's my suspicion. I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably pull the headlining out because there are some holes in the roof, and I need to make sure that those have not allowed any water to get in to the ceiling. Up here and the roof, we've got the rear view mirror, a whole bunch of microphones. Once again, gonna have to figure out what's going on with these. I think the easiest thing would be to pull them all out, and if I need them again, I can reconnect them. The area messages come up there. If you don't have a seatbelt on, there's a seatbelt warning light that comes up there. I think this is automatic dimming rear view mirror, and it's going to be fun figuring out what everything does and what does not need to be there anymore. Like this thing here. There's a something or other there. I don't know if this is like a tracking device or what the case is, so I don't think it's factory. But other than that, this is an introduction to the as yet unnamed Volvo XC70 ambulance project. The plan that I'm hatching is to maybe turn this into an overland vehicle of some kind. That's what I always wanted one of these XC70s for. It'll also be really cool to take it to Sweden in the winter, just to make sure that, you know, the four-wheel drive system works well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow this next series. What happens with this Volvo XC70 ambulance? It is pretty cool though. And the kids have said, why don't you just keep the ambulance stickers on there? Because, you know, everybody will let you drive wherever you want. Maybe I should change the stickers to Scambulance. Yeah.